Hey everybody, welcome to winnersandlosers.tv/switch. We are doing some Wednesday night Valheim streaming here on the show. Anybody who's been watching the channel Twitch stream here over the last few days will notice that I'm not outside. I'm indoors. I'm sitting down, staring at a screen that is beaming photons into my face. I'm looking at a circle. Actually, I'm looking at my friends. I'm talking into a piece of microphone. Unlike the previous streams, I was outdoors. Well, partially on a balcony in Los Angeles. I was being harangued by friendly neighbors and even more inquisitive police helicopters. I was standing at a bench performing manual, very attractive labor with my hands, forming wood into pieces of different shaped woods and then gluing them together. I've been doing woodworking streaming. This is a strange beginning to a stream here, guys. Welcome, one and all. This is let's see. Yeah, so some not changes, but some of you might have noticed that I did some woodworking streaming. It's an idea I've been cooking up. Not that it's some original thing, but I was like, oh yeah, I could put the camera at the woodworking because I've got a ton of shit filmed and I want to make these more highly produced videos. And Sunday morning, I was going to go do some work on a thing. I wanted to build a sanding disc cubby. You might know that there's like circular sandpapers, and you put them on either machines or handheld things, or you just hold them, I guess. That's not really how they're supposed to be used, but you can. And you sand stuff. And I've been making crap tons of candle holders lately. I have these. I forgot to turn these two on here. These are the candle holders. I'm going to become the candle holder king. You know, like the Howard Stern or the Queen Elizabeth of candle holders. Because, you know, what's missing from this world is light. We need more light. So candles go there. And they hold them. Isn't that cute? This one works too. See? This one works too. You put candles in it. And it holds it. So it means I've been sanding a lot. I'm learning that my trademark, and I haven't sold one yet. I haven't even started my Etsy shop. I'm waiting for stuff to come in the mail so I can stuff I've ordered printed that needs to go in every package. So I don't want to ship stuff out yet. And then I'm going to send out a whole bunch of free ones to various people. But I've learned that I'm becoming the smooth, curvy candle holder guy. I don't know. Maybe I'll go be square candle holders. But making smoother curves. This one's a bit more blocky than what you might otherwise expect from a lot of what I've made. This is one of the earlier ones. But the smoothness is or the curviness is how you really, I think, kind of like tease out the artsy, kind of sculptory looking part of these things. Because I want them to look cool and feel. I want people to like pick them up. I want someone to go over to a person's house and say, "Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow, it's fun to rub. Oh, ooh, touch it and feel it, and then, ow, my hand is on fire." You know, and then run into the river. Rivers are the number one source for putting out fires. If you're close to one. If you're not close to one, pray. Okay, pray. Well, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah. So we are. Anyway, I needed a little more organization for my project, and for sanding. So, because sanding is a big part of this, and sanding is probably, I bet most woodworkers would agree, it's one of the worst. I'd say injuries to your eyes and fingers of yourself and or passers-by are the worst part about woodworking. The second next to that would be sanding, probably. Staining and finishing can be problematic too. I think that's sort of tedious and messy and smelly, and but I think that's also kind of enjoyable process because it starts to that's where you sort of like that's where Frankenstein's eyes open, you know. Daddy, you know, that kind of thing. That's where that's what finishing is essentially. So it's really actually kind of a beautiful process, but I haven't done very much enough either to even be able to assess this. But sanding sucks. So one thing I'm trying to do to be a little more organized, to make it easier, is to be more organized. Because I go through different grits. There's sort of a grit ladder you climb up. I don't know why I'm doing a sideways grit ladder. It'd be more like this. And that's... I'm just making sure that things are streaming. Cool. Yeah, we're good. That is a... oh, yeah, I can turn the light on here. Sorry, I forgot. I always forget. It's annoying, but I don't... you're always farting around with all these grit papers. So something that a lot of people have are these little things to organize their sanding paper. And I have all this wood sitting around on my balcony, tucked away in various nooks and stuff that are intended to become something. I don't actually have plans for every single piece, but this is a good use of some of the wood I had. So I streamed all this. You can watch it all on the archive, although it'll also be up soon. But I streamed making a this thing. Now it's not done. I forgot to do a top, and I'm probably just gonna do a standard ass, just basic top. I have other boards that match this, so I'll probably just put it straight up. It'll look almost the same as the bottom here. Yeah, so this is a cubby for my sanding discs, and it is way overbuilt. I was thinking this is going to take like 2 or 3 hours on Sunday. It actually took 12 to 15 over 3 days. But I'm really happy with how it came out, and I had a few people watching, and it seemed like some people were checking in, and it was kind of interesting to do it all on the phone. And I don't talk. You might hear me say the occasional word, but I'm out on my balcony. I don't like to speak and be noisy other than all the woodworking sounds, one reason I'd like to end up in my own private space so I don't have to worry about awakening everybody in this fucking city's all like, I don't want that. Everybody in the country's like that too. I just want to be away from it all. I want to fight with raccoons. And I actually had an encounter with a person recently that I'm going to tell a story about on my next Winners and Losers podcast, which I'm going to record tomorrow, so I'll tell the story in more full detail then. Some dude tried to scam me. A guy pulled me over in a car, not a police. A guy in a shitty car was honking and waving out the window. And I was like, what? Okay, he wants to go past me. And he's like, no, and it's clear he wanted me to pull over. So I'm like, okay, maybe something's broken, or my fucking, what's the hatchback door on my 2012 Prius with leather seats is open or something. And then he starts telling me that I hit his car with my car because I have a scuff on my corner. Most cars in the city have scuffs on their corner. And he's trying to point that it matches this thing on his driver's door. I was like, what? You think I hit you? I was like, I didn't hear anything. I didn't feel anything. He's like, oh, I heard it. I know, And he had a whole kind of thing about it. He had a mood, and there was a young woman in the car, too. It was really crazy. And what he wanted me was to give him $80. He said, I'm unemployed. I was like, yeah, I'm unemployed too, fucko. I was starting to get mad. I didn't get mad. A little part of me wishes I had gotten a little more aggro. I can do alpha male, though. I'm 6'3", and I'm built like a depressed linebacker. I can fucking do aggro if I need to. And, not that you have to be tall and manly to be aggro, but this guy, yeah, anyway, it didn't escalate to that sort of thing, but I was just very skeptical. I was just like, this doesn't seem right. What is this? You're saying I hit you? How could I have hit my front right bumper, hit the side of your car at your driver's side before the tire, and I didn't notice that I had glanced a car, and then he couldn't tell me where he was parked. He didn't answer quite. It was just weird. It was weird, and I was like, he's like, if we get the insurance, that's just going to be, you can just give me 60 or, $80. And then he lowered it to 60. I had $20. I wasn't going to tell him how much I had anyway, but yeah. So then he's like, I'm like, listen, I don't have a tape measure. I don't even know if this is the right, there's nothing showing me that I actually hit your car. I realized later the scrapes were like white, light colored, and his car was dark green and my car's dark gray. I know sometimes there's weird color kind of mixes in those, because car paint is not the same as regular paint. It's meant to hold up to insect impacts and stuff, and salt water, whatever, you know what I mean? It's different, it's durable, so there might be different, there might be a little more complex, but nevertheless, I wasn't talking about that. I was like, so he tries to measure, anyway, it was really crazy. It was so crazy. And here's the part, then I'll move on from the story because there is more to it in terms of how I ended up with the police involved, but not really. It was very American policing. Not that they showed up and shot the closest minority, but it was very American policing, and just classic America, classic Los Angeles bullshit policing. So that I'll tell that on the podcast. When I finally said, here's the only way this is happening. This is what I said to him. I go, this is the only way this is happening is we're calling the police, and we can do this through insurance. The police aren't going to come for a fucking car scrape. They don't do that. They'd barely come if you were murdered. Maybe they would show up for that. I don't know. Who knows? Unless it was them that did it. But I'm like, we'll call the police, and we'll get insurance involved. And as soon as he could tell I was serious, he kind of just got all huffy and acted like I was disappointing him and like left in a hurry, which I'm glad he did, because these types of people could maybe become violent. I mean, I assume if you're pulling over strange men and trying to con money out of them, you're willing to stab them or shoot. You know what I mean? Like that. There seems like especially if I had been more angry or more, you know, like I don't. Yeah, no, you know what I mean? Like it seemed. This stuff is kind of dangerous. It feels kind of dangerous, and it all happened so quickly. I didn't get a good look at his license plate. I caught the first few bits of it, and I was like, "What the fuck was that shit?" And I wasn't really gonna do anything. I mean, what are the cops gonna do? Hey, the cops. Some guy just tried to get money out of me, and I didn't take it. And I would have maybe explained the car. I looked it up. It's like a known scam. It's just a scam that people do where they claim that you scratch their car and then they want you to give them money. So I drive off. I'm going to where I'm going, and I'm like literally 2 minutes away from this whole event, and I see him again. He'd pulled over someone else. He'd pulled over another guy, a dude in a better car than mine, but like a SUV. And so I took pictures of that. So I got pictures of it, and then I drove past it. I couldn't get it zoomed in enough to get his license, and I was like, "Fuck! I gotta go back." I couldn't have turned in order. I would have had to like cut in front of a bunch of cars. I wouldn't have been able to turn. So I pulled back, and I really wish I don't know. I didn't know what to do. Do I pull over and pull up behind him and confront him and say, "Hey, this guy's he just did the same thing to me," and then it's me and the other guy would have maybe, I don't know. That'd be crazy. And so I took more pictures. I didn't get a good photo of his license, which sucks, but I did get some pictures of him and the other guy. And as I was driving by, it looked like the other guy was handing him something. Considering that he didn't seem to want to do insurance, he was probably handing him money. And it looked like the guy was wearing scrubs. So, yeah, it was nuts. And the fact that I saw him pulled over another person was what made me think, like, this guy is driving around just scamming people in their car. I mean, it's a ballsy scam. It's one thing to be like pick a card, any card. I don't know scams, but it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And so I ended up calling the police, and that was another weird nightmare. It just I shouldn't say nightmare is a strong word, but just a strange series of non-events in dealing and trying to get the police's attention with this. They seemed like, I don't know, whatever. So that's what that happened yesterday. That was really fucking crazy. I'll tell the story again, I think, on my in more detail on the Winners and Losers show, which I'm planning on doing tomorrow. Wednesday. What is today? Did I say Wednesday? I don't know. It's Tuesday. I don't remember. It's Tuesday. Today is Tuesday though. So that's my way of saying I built the cubby. It's fun. I can't wait to actually finish it, and so I can start using it, because this thing it's fucking solid. Works as a drum. All these materials were parts of a dresser that I two different dressers actually. This backboard here was really shitty, crappy wood that was all warped and bent and broken, and so it's all glued back. You can even see the lines if you look close. You can see like various glue lines. This board I created out of a board. These two pieces were all like one long piece, so I glued it. That was broken. I glued that. Then I cut it, flattened these corners or edges, clamped them together. It was all kind of a big mess. And you can watch the entire 14-hour process on Twitch right now. So aren't you lucky? Without talking, you get to hear the outdoor noises of my LA area. And sometimes it's fun. It's like little cute wind chimes and a little, caw, caw, something nice. And occasionally it's like for like about 4 hours. And then the occasional oh, Sylvester Stallone is running. Yeah, whatever. So it's a kind of an experiment in producing content for the woodworking efforts. And now I'm going to, I think what I'll do is post these on Bum Rush Industries on YouTube, and they'll be like full-on archived Twitch streams. The way I interact with people in the stream, though, is I have a whiteboard or two, and I write on them, and I write some of what I'm thinking, decisions I'm making. Should I glue or not glue? I even wrote a poem. I drew a bunch of butts for some reason, and I draw a little thing. It's just kind of play with the whiteboard. That's kind of the, that's where the personality delivery comes from. But it's good though. I dig in the woodworking streaming, so look for more of those. I'm very excited, and I'm also going to make like a chopped down version of it, probably with some narration. I have so much woodworking editing to do. I really need to focus on it because the build series that I'm doing for the workbench is I think people like it. Someone I know who I really respect her said she watched it again and was laughing. And I was like, oh, you watched it twice for fun? Okay, that means I got to keep working on it. It's nowhere near finished. Anyway, I'm very excited about the woodworking. So please give it a look or not or whatever. You know, who knows? But yeah, this is fun. Yeah, because you might even learn something. Actually, I kind of have a in my head. I'm always thinking like I like the part about being a dad where you teach people stuff, but none of the other crap. I like the part where I'd be like, all right, now just relax. 10 and 2, you can hold it at 7 if you're chilled on a long highway. You don't got to do this for 9 hours. I want to teach people how to drive. And then go, no, don't, because 15-year-olds have impulse control. Not that they all do. I'm not saying, just like I scared the shit out of my dad the first time I didn't know that you're allowed to slow down to turn. We were on a country road. Yeah, that's right. This is like my first 20 minutes of driving a car ever. Yeah, that's about right. And I thought I would be really rude if I slowed down too much to the cars behind me. Not that I had it all under control, but I like took a really hard, fast turn. He's like, oh, stop! It's like, oh, I'm allowed to slow down as much as I want to before turning. Okay, I'll do. All right. And I'm a good driver though. I'm a good driver. That motherfucker, man. Let me just say something about that incident. That scammer guy. I'm sinking down. I'm not an aggressive. I don't like violence, but I'm good with justice. A little part of me wishes that guy had escalated to me having to man up a little bit. I'm just gonna admit that. A little part of me has a little bit of that. Those us New Zealand rugby players that go draw, like that gets my like masculine like let's do it. So I'm glad it didn't happen because that also would have led to probably like years of stress for me because I tend to relive experiences in my fucking head. So I'm not saying I wish that had happened, but I can feel a little bit of me that goes, that motherfucker deserved to be knocked out. He had like a black eye. He had like a healing black eye. I told the cops this. It looked like he was injured, but his eye was almost healing. Ooh, I've been sanding candle holders for 2 weeks, motherfucker. You think I couldn't put a little? No, that's not. Yeah, there is a little bit of me that has that. I'm not gonna pretend like that's not part of me, but it's also a part of me that I want to look at that part with curiosity, not so much with like, no, feelings. Because I have a lot of feelings, and finally being able to, I think one of my secret goals and hopes of doing online content and being honest about my own feelings and struggles is that other people see an example of someone who isn't bottling it all up and is sort of trying to be I think it feels like I'm being tough by being sensitive. That's because that's harder to do. So I'm letting the feelings out a little bit more. So that's why I'm sharing that with him. I think. I don't know why I do any of this. Let's get into the Valheim, guys. We got a lot of fun to do. It's not going to be a super long one today. I've got been posting stuff on Winners and Losers. I want all the stuff published before I published the thing I'm going to do tomorrow. And so I'll be doing a bunch of that tomorrow morning. Anyway, this is... we're building this thing together. I'm putting stuff together. We're building sanding cubbies. Like, what if it was a different one? Dude, it's happening. It's fun. A couple big steps ahead, which is selling stuff. But okay, I'm starting to not talk anymore. Let's do the damn game. Changing the text there to part 68. I think in this video we're going to be doing mostly stuff around the home. We're not going to do a ton of adventuring. I might head off for some, I don't know, maybe not, but no sea voyages where they take 45 minutes and I'll just talk about Gristle the entire time or something like that. So, as you guys know on Twitch, if you all are on Twitch, I will turn the volume up to a better level shortly once we get into the game. And please let me know about any audio. I'm not paying super close attention to the chat. Chat amongst yourselves. I will definitely check on it though. And but most of the stuff is intended to go live on SuckProfessor once it's all done. So we're switching into SuckProfessor mode. My iPhone updated and it's got a whole bunch of dumb shit in it. That's really annoying. That's happening. All right, here we go. We're gonna do a bunch of stuff. I have arrived. I can't see anything. Now let's leave it on for the start. Get the volume going here. I think we'll feed the shrimp. Maybe that's what we'll feed shrimp right away. That'll be our first move. So here we. Sorry, hang on. I keep been doing. All right, just leave it open. You don't have to close the text file that changes the thingy. Hope everybody's doing well. See you. I mean, we're not going away, but just saying. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for dialing in. Let's do this. Let's get going.